Keep in mind, as you're going to see these highlights, a 41st pick, and he's the prototype NBA player.
Yeah.
Big, grab rebounds, go out and hit a three.
And when they drafted him, they had to wait a year to get him as well. So you just had to understand what you were dealing with that draft pick. But he turned out to be just an outstanding, one of the great fundamental players in today's game. And he does make it look so easy, right? Like, do you ever see him, extend himself when he moves? Like, are you seeing anything that's a quick movement or a high jump or anything? Look at this is just old man game. And as I said in the pregame, he's got the dad bod to go with it. But he's just a tremendous player. But he does everything with ease at his own speed. In a game that is so fast, he plays it at his speed, and he still dominates. It's a remarkable thing to watch when you consider today's game is above the rim and up and down the floor and physicality and speed and everything else. And he plays it slow, and he's very successful. It's
probably the kind of player that can thank Dirk Nowitzki for giving him the belief to stick with it.
And many European players certainly do have that, but he's one of them that, you discover him, you find him, but to give him that year to stay in Europe, that you didn't have to rush him over. When he came over, he was ready to come over, and boy, what an impact he's had.
Frank Ntilikina made his long-awaited return tonight for the New York Knicks. What did you think?
I think it's what you would expect. He came in. I thought his energy was really good at the very beginning. He looked like a guy that hasn't played in 2 months, and he couldn't wait to get back out there and be a difference maker. So the movement was good. The ball movement, of course, I think was a big factor for him. He wanted to play a little point. They gave him that opportunity. That's a nice play, something you want to see more often. Makes the defensive play there, then gets the ball. Look at his eyes wide open, up the floor, making those passes. That's the type of player Frank Ntilikina is, and that's what we want to see more of. This is the key part. Corner three, he had a couple of them. He only made one for 4 from downtown. That's the issue there for him. But the 5 assists, the ball movement, all that stuff that we remember from him, that's who he is. Some defense in this thing, the ball movement as well. It's the shooting for him. And I know he's been out a while and everybody struggles with their shooting, but that's the number, that's the area, that's the column on the stat sheet with Frank Ntilikina that from this year to next year has got to get better. And he knows it.
What do you think's on the line for him with 9 games to go?
I think his place on this team next year, and I don't mean as far as like they get rid of him or give up on him. I mean that, when you have as much cap space as this team has, when you have another lottery pick as well, you're looking for players. You're looking for players that are going to help you become a winning program. And if somebody comes in here and is better than you, you're not going to play nearly as much. This year, a guy like him, a guy like Kevin Knox, was able to play with a little bit of freedom because you didn't have to worry about someone stealing your job. But he missed a lot of time because of injury. But this is a player that next year, if you're not somebody that can contribute to winning right away, you might have to wait.